welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at a couple Transformers from Rise of the Beasts. The first one I wanted to do was the last of the Wave 1 Beast Battlemasters. We've got Cheetor here. And then I also wanted to do Sandspear, and Sandspear happens to come with a deluxe Rise of the Beast figure from Buzzworthy Bumblebee, so I'm doing Buzzworthy Bumblebee Rise of the Beast Scorponok and Sandspear. This is just me trying to knock out some of my backlog. I went on vacation, I came back, and I've got a bunch of Transformers figures that I got to get through. Starting out, I mean, the main reason I bought these guys, right? Cheetor's $6, these guys together are $12. I love these little Beast Battlemasters. So first, looking at Cheetor, I really like his spots. They've done a little bit of paint. There's some silver muscle fiber, which is really, really neat. The gray is not ideal. I do wish that had just been yellow all the way through. I'm kind of surprised that they did it in like unpaintable. Like this gray plastic is not painted anywhere, so why not just cast it in yellow? He's got a little sword for his tail. He's surprisingly articulated. You've got ball joints in the shoulders. You got ball joints on his little cat paws. You got ball joints on his hips. So for like a Beast Battlemaster figure, I think it works pretty well. To compare him, his wave mates here, they look really nice together. I mean, this is a cool little set. And again, against like a Lionizer or another, they're, a little bigger than the Siege Beast Battlemasters. I feel like Sandspear is the biggest out of all of them. He does feel the lightest. This one's pretty hollow. But yeah, I am digging these sets. I'm hoping to get, I might already have by the time this video comes out, Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal, so I have those two additional Beast Battlemasters. But I'm really digging collecting these little guys. But yeah, Cheetor, finishing out the set looks really cool for Wave 1. And then Sandspear here, again, this unpainted plastic, but I like that Sandspear's is this darker color. I feel like this it helps illustrate details a little better for me. I do like the sculpted, molded details here. It starts out robotic, and then it gets into this like almost rocky texture up at the tips of his claws. That's kind of neat. We've got a little scorpion head painted in silver or gunmetal on brown plastic here. Yeah, the rest of it looks pretty cool. His articulation, it's really just the claws, and then the tail can go forward, but it can go back. And he's got a little like gun laser thing on his tail, so that's kind of neat. The legs don't move at all, unfortunately. If I can understand why, if this was sold by itself at $6, I would not be happy. The fact that it comes with this guy and it's $12, I'm pretty happy with that purchase. Scorponok here looks pretty great. I think that head design looks really nice. This is not like a Studio Series type figure. This is the mainline, and it's probably the budget version of the mainline. So we don't have like his fists are obvious in his claw mode, but we've got some nice silver painted claws here. I really, really like the brown to gray gradient we get, like on his carapace here, on his, back here, on his little tail, on his legs. That does a lot to give this figure a lot of life, I think, whereas normally it wouldn't. And he's a decently sized deluxe. If we're comparing it to like a random deluxe, I mean, it doesn't weigh, like this one weighs heavier, but it's neat that we're getting something so big for so cheap in 2023. Scorponok looks pretty good. His tail does articulate pretty well. It can stab forward. The end thing can move forward. You can twist it. It's on a ball joint, 2 ball joints here, so you can get it swinging around. He also does have arms that can kind of be positioned. They get a little bit. They look just like his robot arms because they are his robot arms. But you can position them around. So yeah, as a 2-pack, this in beast mode also looks pretty handy dandy and nice. So transformation for all these guys is really simple. We'll start with Cheetor. All we're going to do is flip out his blade. That was his tail. There is a little 5mm peg right here. And then we can flip around his arms. I used to think that there was a place for them to tab together based on this being in the heel, but that doesn't appear to be the case. It just kind of folds in nicely against each other. Same thing on this side. The curves kind of seat against each other. And there we've got Cheetor in his weaponizer mode. Sandspear is also very, very simple. There's a little 5mm peg that pops out there. Fold in and up his claws. I just kind of fold them on the inside to get them out of the way. I think technically you're supposed to fold them on the outside, but I don't like the look of that. And then we just take his gun on his tail, we push his tail back, and it flips out a blade. I do wish this curved the other way. I'll talk about that in a second once we get him like out and held. But yeah, there is Sandspear in his weapon mode. And then Scorponok is super simple. He is a bit of a parts former. That's a little unfortunate. But the tail comes out and you can straighten it out to be like a blade. And then we come in here and we're just going to unfold the legs like so. Separate them. Fold the bug legs behind him. And then fold this carapace piece down, revealing a Predacon symbol, which I thought was kind of interesting. Pulling out the shoulder pieces. And there is Scorponok in his robot mode. Got to get the legs around. There we go. And I think they look pretty good. We'll get Scorponok will put his weapons in his hands. So he holds his own tail, and then he can hold Sandspear should we choose to do so. And we do. There we go. And yeah, I think overall it's like a neat looking robot. I think here we kind of see the budget illustrated a little more in terms of articulation. The head swivels. You can see it's like a hollow single cast head. He's got a cool little bug face mask with bug eyes. I like the paint that picks out like almost goggles on his head. And then the mouth. We got a gradient here. We have a Predacon symbol, like a Beast Wars Predacon symbol, which is interesting. I know in the movie, Scourge had a Predacon emblem on it in his collection. So I wonder if that implies that Scorponok, like it was a species that got taken over by Unicron, and the Scorponoks we saw in the movie that didn't transform were like lobotomized versions or something. No waist articulation, which is unfortunate. We do have 360 on the shoulder, can go up that high, can go in 90 degrees. It's on a ball joint at the elbow. The legs can go out so far, and then they can go back so far, which is surprising because of how much kibble is behind the leg, and then no heel or ankle articulation. So yeah, this is like, you know, it's the size-ish of a deluxe, but it's closer to a core figure. It's that $12 price point. It's half the price of a deluxe, but it's neat enough. I like that it feels like a very unique Scorponok design. I dig the weapons. I like the colors, surprisingly. The dark gray helps a lot, that it's not that lifeless gray plastic. The browns and the gradients into these darker browns and greens helps a lot. Yeah, I think he looks pretty cool. And the fist holes are pretty tight, but holding his weapons, like, he looks pretty neat. I dig it. Now, we do have extra ports here on his arms, so you can give him extra weapons. There is Cheetor, like, mounted as a claw kind of thing. I do dig, you know, just as a simple, basic movie toy, I dig it a lot. He is a little back heavy. I do wish these legs articulated just so they could like fold in. If they could curl in another step to get on the inside of his legs, that would be really nice. I wish the waist articulation was there, those sorts of things. But I do understand if they're trying to stick to a certain price point, how we get to what this figure is. In terms of size, he's like, you know, a pretty decent sized deluxe. Here he is next to a Voyager Cheetor. The main reason I brought out Cheetor is to show my disappointment here that Cheetor can't wield himself. I was really excited to have Cheetor like hold his own blade, and I guess he can, Studio Series, in that you can like hold his sword like this, but that looks really, really dumb. So I am hopeful that the mainline Cheetor can actually wield himself as a weapon. But yeah, these little Beast Battlemasters, like, I mean, they are fun little toys. For $6, I think you get great value. For $12 on this, I think it's a really fun toy to play with. if you like just messing around with figures, transforming them, nice, simple transformations, easy recommendations, especially if you've got kids. I think these are like just perfect. They're like sturdy enough and robust enough, but they're really neat. And the Rise of the Beast movie, like I liked it enough that I'm feeling the need to get all these toys from it. So good job. I definitely, I think my recommendation of that movie went up a little bit as I've been playing around with the main toy line. So that was a quick look, kind of finishing up my Wave 1 Rise of the Beast Battlemasters, along with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Scorponok figure and Sandspear. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye!